Hello everyone, this is Jamaica with Jamaica Life, and today is bee prep day. I'm gonna get some bees and we're gonna set up something out there. I've already put one box together. You know, I won't be wasting your time. I try to put things together prior to getting on film because I don't want to figure it out in front of you guys. I have some weed barrier here that I'm gonna put out there underneath a coffee table. And I'm gonna repurpose the coffee table. It was wrought iron and it was, you know, it was sitting against the shed for the past years. And I was like, one day I'm gonna use that for something. Just a minute. One day I'm gonna use that for something. Today is the day. Today is the day. I forgot my pens. I guess I get it on the way back. So I'm gonna use some 4x4s. I ordered some bees already. I went to beekeeping class about, I don't know, a month or so ago. And I just ordered my bees, but I won't be getting them until almost the end of August because it's super hot out here and I just don't want to deal with, you know, trying to keep them alive in this heat. You know, moving them is stressful enough without it being super, super hot. So I ordered some bees. And I have another guy who's a beekeeper out in San Antonio who's supposed to get in contact with me when he gets back because he has bees also. The other ones came from the bee shop. So let me show you the table. So these are the 4x4s. These are pickets, you know, they're the fence posts. I wasn't using them, they were behind a bush. So I'm gonna use them. I use everything that I got. I don't like buying stuff and just, you know, that thing, those pieces of wood have been sitting there forever. And so has this table. We'll go this way and look at the table. So if you go to the thrift store and you see something and you don't know, sometimes you don't know exactly what you're going to use it for. Eventually, for me, something will tell me do not throw it away. Because I think I have a video, and I'll show you the backup video of me taking this apart at the end of the video. Because it is a coffee table and it's wrought iron that had wood that was rotten on it. And the table rotted away, but the iron is still there. And that's what I need. The iron. Let me see if I can move this without bringing my trolley out here. Yeah, I can move it. Drag this across the yard. I tell you what. You gotta keep going. You gotta keep trying. I hope I don't throw up my back. This thing is jiggling me to death. Yeah. Initially, I was afraid until I went to the class and we actually did a hands-on. I don't want to break this thing. We actually did a hands-on with some bees, and then we did the classroom portion. The classroom portion was good. It taught me a lot of stuff about, you know, testing for the mites and all that stuff. I wrote a lot of notes because I forget. So, you know, Army days taught me, always take notes. Always, because you don't want to have to call these people after you take the class. They don't have to tell you nothing. So if you go to one of those classes and they're expensive, super expensive. It was all day class. We were there from 8 o'clock in the morning to about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So it was almost 8 hours, right? And they fed us, so that counts for something. So if you take one of these classes and you're sitting in there, do not be afraid to ask questions because you are paying premium prices. And once you're out of the class, those instructors don't have to answer no more questions. They did what, you know, you should have asked as many questions as you possibly can. I don't care if they get mad. I'm going to ask every question. If I don't understand something, and I'm no dummy, but if I don't understand something, I'm going to ask you. I don't care if you like it or not. If it has to do with what I'm paying for, I'm going to ask you the questions. And it seemed to me, so, I mean, like, I have friends, and especially in New York, who have 1 million certifications and can't find a job. I don't want a certification. You can get a certification in beekeeping. I don't think I want to go to that extent. I just want to get some experience in it. And because I don't really like clubs. It's a military thing. I figured that I was already in the biggest club there was, right? It's rules in clubs. And sometimes you don't agree with those rules. I'd rather be, you know, I want to be friends with them. but I don't think I like organized fun. That's what we used to call in the military, organized fun. So let me go and get these pins and a hammer, because I can't find my mallet. And we're gonna go ahead and get this weed barrier out here so that we can get that down. And then I'm gonna put, I'm gonna buy some mulch. I don't want to, but I'm gonna buy some mulch so that that black is not coming up off of it, because I don't want to deal with, I'm not gonna put a lot of weed barrier out there either. I just don't want to deal with grass growing up underneath that thing, and then I have to weed eat underneath the table, because the grass will grow. Grass will grow anywhere you don't want it to grow. Weeds will grow where you want the grass to grow. That's the way life is, right? So let me go and get these stakes. Let's see, right here. They should be right here. Here's my bee box. I put one bee box together. See that? That's one of them. Already done. I did this weeks ago and I need to get it out of here. Here are my pins. Where's my hammer? If I had a hammer, I'd hammer in the morning. I'd hammer in the evening. I know I'm silly. I'm a serious kind of silly though. I be getting my work done. So it's a bee castle, and I got it from the amazing store. Move. One that you don't have to go to the store. You know, you don't have to go to the store to go to the store. They come to you. There need to be a lot more of them, because they're becoming very powerful. Did I tell you to come out? Get inside. See, that's how I talk to her. But she don't listen to me. Look. She's looking at me like, what? Who are you talking to? Get inside, Philomena. No. You know, disobedient. You've been going in people's yards. You get inside. Go. Skedaddle. I hate being mean to her, but she is a German Shepherd, and they will pee, whatever you want to call it. They'll get her. And I wouldn't be able to say nothing about it. They might get in charge, you know, get a charge for illegal discharge in a residential area. But that's about it. And they might not even do that after they say, oh, your dog was vicious. Vicious enough to lick you. But she's a German Shepherd. So it's just like, you know, there's certain dogs that you cannot let them run around. Cannot let them go astray, ever. So we're gonna put it right here. I moved the recycle bin, and I think he's gonna cut the lawn. So I'm gonna have to turn the volume off, man, or wait till he finishes. One or the other. So I tried to hurry, but I decided to just go inside after a while. I rolled this little bit out, but you're gonna see what happened. Sometimes when you rush, you make mistakes, so take your time, especially when you're using material that is expensive, like weed barrier. See you in a sec. All right, he's done. He's done. Have you ever been just so excited about something? I've never been, well, I probably have. I get excited about little things. But I like when I could see a plan coming together, and when things work out and I didn't have to spend any money because I already had it there. I already had this stuff there. Oh man. So I'm trying to decide if I want to just put black tarp everywhere over here, because I thought about it, and if I don't, these weeds over here, they're gonna grow, and we don't want that. I don't want anybody in this area. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna kind of, you know, try not to make anybody get over here, because I don't want him to get all bit up. He probably won't come back here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna run it over here, and try to get as much of it covered up by tarp as possible, so that we don't have to weed eat over here. So let's get to it. I already cut a small piece here, but I'll just pick that up. Yeah, man, I'll just pick that up. Yeah, and I'm gonna cut another piece. I hate wasting, so I'll use that for something else. Maybe I'll put it over there, but I'll find something to do with it. I'm just gonna run another piece, another 2 pieces. I'm gonna run one right there behind it, and then one on top of it, and maybe 1/3 roll. I don't want to use a whole bunch of it, but you know, an ounce of preventative is a pound of cure. I don't want anybody in here messing when the bees show up. I don't want anybody to have to go in here except me, the beekeeper, and I'll have a suit on. I see people on YouTube who don't have a suit on. Man, I do not want to get stung. I think when we had the class, my suit was a large, and I'm glad it was, because I think I felt a bee try to sting me. But if your bee suit is bigger, you want a baggy bee suit. Let me put it that way. And the lady told me that, and I was like, what? Why can't I get a medium? And she was like, no, you need to get a bigger size. You want it to be loose. Because when their stinger comes in, if you have it tight, it's going to go straight into your skin. Anyway, talking too much. Let me go ahead and cut this and get out of this Texas sun. And then we'll run the 2 poles on top. Let's go. Ow. That wasn't smart, girl. So I'm trying to overlap. I am overlapping the tarp. Grass will pop through if you don't do that. You have to overlap it at least an inch. So I'll bring you down and show you how I do it, because I do not want grass coming up. Now, when you put this stuff on, you gotta sweep it off every now and then, or weeds will start showing up. They'll start growing on top after a couple of years, and it's gonna be here years, trust me. So I take my tarp, I have this one in here, but I'm gonna take this one and overlap it about an inch, all right? Stake it in. Let me get some more stakes. I don't know why I didn't bring them over here. And then we're gonna roll this thing out. Oh, another thing is you wanna make sure that the stake is at least an inch away from this, because this stuff might fray. This is supposedly the good one. And it's weaved. It's weaved. Mosquito, you got some nerve. Just bite me up. Hi there. Come on, Dad. Gone, everything's going wrong. Why'd you have to go away, boy? Look what you've done to me. this out. From falling from my eyes. Oh, baby, I'm going down. I'm going down. 'Cause you ain't around, baby. My whole world's upside down. Come on, scissors. Should have brought a razor out here. It's hot out here. I'm burning up. One more line. One more line. Jesus Christ. All right, good America. Let's get it done, girl. No rest. No rest break. I have to go inside and get some tea tree oil because see that little bump? It'll turn real big in a minute. Shoot. I think that's good enough for now. I really want it a little bit further out, but it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Let me just cut it and get up out of here. All right, girl. Woo. Now I'm gonna take these two pieces of wood, even though I'm swelling up. We're gonna put this on the stand and we'll bring one of the two beehives out here. And depending on how long this thing is, we'll put the beehive together. Because it took me about, it took me 2 days because I was, I procrastinate, but it should have took me about 30, 40 minutes. Let's go ahead and put these on here. Weak, girl. You're weak. Look good to me. That look good to you? That look good to you? Because it's gonna have to be good enough. Let's go ahead and get the beehive. I'm gonna put some tea tree oil on this and we'll gather up our stuff. I may have to run some more, but right now, for now, that looks good to me. And one piece by piece, I'm gonna have to bring that thing out here. So I'm gonna put some tea tree oil on first. Yeah, and I'm gonna spray myself again. Or I could put on some long sleeve. How about that, girl? Huh? How about that? I'm back. I didn't spray myself yet either. All right, here we go. Okay, I gotta get the top, and I need to get the peep box where you can look in. Peephole box, I forget what it's called. And then I need to get the lid in its inside. So I'm gonna go and get that. By the way, the box I took out here is called the Deep. You wanna know? There is another box that comes with this. I don't know if I'm gonna put it out here because then the pie would be way too big. And then it came with an excluder, a queen excluder. I forget what that's for. I gotta look at my notes. Let me go and get the lid, and then I have a swarm spray that I'm gonna put on here. They say it works. If it doesn't work, well, I just lost about $15. So, because the swarm is cheaper than spending $400 for bees. Bees are expensive. The cheapest I found was $250, and there's no guarantee on this once you buy it from these people. With the exception of the store, that's where I'm getting it from, because at least I hope that they don't have any diseases or any mites, because those mites are hard to get rid of and expensive. And you have to test for them, I think, every month or every couple of months. I gotta look at my notes again. Yeah, I don't remember. But there is a mite that can, that it's regulated. You have to test for it. You're supposed to, and you're supposed to keep records, because I guess they can come and check your records, especially when I'm trying to eventually put in for an ag exemption, not out here, but somewhere else. So I'm trying my best to do it here first, so I get get the knack of it before I spend, a lot of money. Anyway, let me go and get the excluder, not the excluder. Let me go and get the peephole in the top. There's two other pieces, and then there's the doorway that I'm gonna put on there. I'll show you in just a second. Let me go and get it. Yeah. I decided to bring the whole kit and caboodle. All right, so here's what it looks like. Let me go and get it centered. This is the doorway. Put that right here. Just a little bit past that bar. I don't want them on that bar at all. That thing's gonna get hot. Okay. So let's go over the pieces. Okay. So this, number one, is the telescope top cover. Number two is an entrance. This is the medium super. That plastic piece, a piece that I didn't bring out here, is the queen excluder. And then this is the deep brood box. And then the bottom is a solid bottom board. And then this is the entrance reducer. You see how there's one doorway here, and then there's a bigger one here. We're gonna use the bigger one right now because I am trying to catch a swarm. Now they told us, you never know what you're gonna catch. That's the risk you take when you try to catch a swarm. I bought this. Bees are attracted to lemongrass, by the way, and I have lemongrass. I might bring that joker out here, that plant. So, what does it say? Directions. Spray 2 or 3 sprays of Swarm Commander directly on your inner cover telescope lid. Also spray twice on your landing board. Repeat weekly as needed. Okay, So this is the top. We're not going to have that on there, right? I'm going to take this off. Turn it over. Turn it, lay it down right here. Right? This is the entrance right here. The top entrance. See the little peephole? When we were in class, we could see through there and we could see the bees moving around inside here. Here are the frames. See that? And you put this here, right? And they said spray the entrance, right? So, how many did it say? Spray 2 to 3 sprays on the entrance. So, I'm special. And then, here's another entrance down here. Oh, it smells good. It smells like lemongrass. Also spray twice on your landing board. So this is the landing board back here. Let me take this reducer off. And, oh, I sprayed myself. And I sprayed there also, right? Oh, don't lay on it, girl. So, I'm gonna put this up. No, I'll put this right here. Put it on your landing board. So I might take my reducer out, my entrance reducer. I might take that out. Then again, these will melt. All right, we sprayed enough. Spray in the box. So that's about it. Spray 2's gonna come back there directly on the liner cover telescoping lid. Also spray twice on your landing board. Repeat weekly as needed. I'm gonna put my top back on because I don't want any other bug to be attracted to this thing. And we'll see. We will see. I want rain to get in there. It does rain out here in Texas and it gives no warning. And this is not close to the house. I'll be running out here like a chicken with my head cut off. So again, this is the bee castle. All right, so I have to put the other one together. I think I'm gonna do this one, and on another video, I'll go ahead and show you how I put it together. It wasn't hard. It was just intimidating. And I have something else that I need to put it together in the house first. But here it is. I bought it on Amazing, or you know, the Amazon. So I'm sure I could have got it cheaper at the other place, but this is coated with wax and it's got super good ratings. So a lot of people don't like wax bee stations, but you know, we'll see. I'm proud of myself so far. So far so good. I'm getting it done. So let me show you what it looks like. Let me show you what the setup looks like. I don't know if I'm gonna cut these or not right now. I know I can fit 2 of these on here. It's a repurposed coffee table. I probably will cut these 2 off. I haven't decided yet. I do need to go and get some mulch and mulch this thing. I use this to catch a swarm. There's only one problem back there. I see the fence is down, so I'm gonna have to crawl in there and nail that thing back up. But for the most part, this is done. This is what it looks like. 2, a medium and a deep. The top, put this down. And the telescope, or the entrance. So I'm gonna close it down. We'll see what happens. I'll check back in about 7 days. So the reason I'm doing this, I like bees. I like bees, but I don't love bees. It's because I want to get an ag exemption. An ag exemption, you know, instead of spending thousands of dollars on your land, you have to spend like 50 bucks. You just take it away. I've already called the county. When you are going to do something like this and try to get an ag exemption for any animal or any insect. This is an insect, and apparently they need people to take care of bees. Bees are disappearing. I see them all the time in my garden, though. All the time, especially on the squash plants and the on the squash plants. They like it, and I see them on my crepe myrtles all the time, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to spend hundreds of dollars on buying this stuff, and I have bees because if there's a dearth, not necessarily a dearth. A dearth is when all the flowers die. I didn't know what it was either until I took the class. If there's a dearth, bees have to go and search for pollen and nectar. It's hard to find, but not in this yard, not here. See that? Plenty of nectar that I've been giving to other people or to other bee populations, wild bees. So hopefully I get something in. If I don't, I have some bees coming in. I have some bees coming in because I see them all the time on these flowers, on these crepe myrtles, all the time. Sometimes in the fall, when we get little flower, the clovers flower, they're on the grass. There's a bee right there. Look, trying to get a cup, and it just flew off. There it is, right there. It's flying from flower to flower. So hopefully it smells the lemongrass, because that's what this stuff smells like. This commander lure, it's strong too. So y'all can see I was sweating, right? First of all, first things first, we're going to take care of this bite, wherever it is. It's starting to disappear, but it's right there. What I use is essential oil tea tree. I do not use a carrier oil. I put this bad boy right on the bite because I don't want marks. I have enough marks from mosquitoes. And I just let it sit on there and soak in. We'll see what happens by the time we finish this video. It'll be gone. Excuse me while I remove this hat. Whew, that's better. Much better. So this is the queen excluder, right? Because the queen is gonna go deeper into your box. So when you take that top, that medium off, make sure I'm saying it right. When you take that top box off, because I have two boxes, right? This is the deep and this one is the medium right here. See that? And they both have 10 frames in it. The excluder, once you get the queen is gonna go as deep in the hive as she possibly can to be protected, right? There's a way out down here. But usually once the queen mates and she gets all of the drone, semen, that's it. That's what she's gonna lay. And that's how, okay, the drones are the males. They're bigger and they eat a lot and they go and party and they bring back diseases to the hive. But they also, one of them or several of them, I don't know what happens in bee sexuality. They all fertilize all the eggs. The eggs that are fertilized by the queen are females. All the fertilized eggs are females, most likely. If the queen dies and there's not another queen, those bees that are going around, they get pregnant too, but they go ahead and make drones, from what I hear, which are males. That's how a hive dies out. If the queen dies, there's no other queen to take her place. A bunch of drones, which are basically loafers, because they don't do nothing. They don't go and they just eat. The females are the ones who go out and get nectar and pollen and bring it back, and the drones eat and go out and party, from what I heard. From what everybody knows about bees. That's just what I heard. No offense, bees. No offense, drones. No offense, males. But they just go out and party and go to whatever bee bar they go to, drone bar they go to, and they come back and they got all these pests that they bring back. That's what they do. They fertilize the eggs, right, for the queen or any other bee. But if another bee gets pregnant and lays an egg, it's going to be another drone. And that's it. The hive is just going to die out, because if all the females are going to die because there's no females being reborn. So you don't want that. You want to make sure you have a queen. You can only have one queen. When queens are born, the first one, who is usually the strongest and the smartest, she sends out a signal. She starts shaking and invites all the other, baby queens over, and then she kills them. There can only be one queen. So this is the queen excluder. So when you're moving that top one, the queen is actually bigger. The drones are big, but the queen is bigger and her body is longer. This is the queen excluder so that she can't get out. The only way she can get out is through the bottom. And when the queen usually don't leave home, she's comfortable. She got maids, she got people, she got bees feeding her, cleaning her, protecting her, and shoot, whatever, doing all the work for her. All she has to do is go ahead and lay eggs. Now, the bees, they all have wax, but they have to have enough pollen and nectar and for their glands to secrete wax. That hive has wax on it already. However, it's not enough. It'll help though. It'll help. A lot of beekeepers paint their frames with wax because wax is, they can only produce so much wax. And if there's a dearth and they can't get the nutrients they need, they're gonna have a problem producing the wax, which means that the queen is not gonna have anywhere to lay her eggs. And they're not gonna have enough stores for the winter, which is the honey. They say within the first year that you are not supposed to harvest any of the honey. And when you do harvest honey, don't harvest all of it. You gotta leave some for your bees to go through winter, because that's how they're gonna eat. And you can put sugar and fondant on top to feed them, but that's not the healthiest. The best thing, that's why they store the honey, is to feed themselves in the bad months. Just like we store energy and store food, that's what the bees do. We need to follow what the bees do. And if they don't do that, guess what? They don't live. Along with if the queen dies and there's not another queen to take her place. So this is the queen excluder when you're going and looking to see if you have any problems. So, so they said hives should be 3 hives 1 mile apart. Okay. I've seen hives right next to each other. My hives are going to be, one box is going to have a doorway this way and one is going to have a doorway the other way. I don't know, I put 1 mile apart. And when I went to class, there were boxes right about 3 feet apart, and they seemed pretty happy. They didn't seem like they were fighting with each other. We only found 1 queen though. Suspect. So they said full sun. So I need to move that thing a little bit further out. Make where you don't have to mow. At least 100 feet from your home. So these boxes are 100 feet from everybody's house. It said, let's see, nukes. Okay, there is 2 types of where you can buy bees. You can buy a nuke, which is, it gives you a laying queen, not necessarily the queen from that hive, and 3 to 4 draw frames covered in bees. They just grab bees from different boxes, put them together with the queen, and ship them. They're cheaper, but you're taking a risk. They don't always accept the queen. If they don't want her, they'll sting her and heat her up. They pile up like a ball, and that's like what they do to their enemy. They pile them up and they sting them and they basically eradicate them, okay? So nukes is cheaper because you're taking a risk and you only get 3 to 4 flames. And then there's a regular hive, which is about $100 and $200 more. It's double, but you get a full hive. All right, so there's a cast of bees. Queen, 16 days. A queen can become a queen in 16 days. The workers, which are the females, they live 21 days. So she has to keep on laying. And she lays queens also. She has queens that she lays also, and usually she'll have several queens. That's why people split their boxes, and sometimes they have swarms. Swarms happen when either the box is overcrowded and there's more than 1 queen. She'll take half of the hive and she'll just leave. They'll be like, I'm going with her. She's younger, faster, smarter. I like her better. She's nicer to me. She'll take half the hive. And sometimes they just land on a log somewhere. When we were clearing land out in the middle of the wilderness, we ran into a beehive, a wild beehive. It was in a tree trunk. And the guy was like, Travis, he said, don't go over there. They're angry. I knocked down their tree because he He cleared about 2 acres. The drones, which are the males, they live 24 days. 24 days. They live longer. And they go out and party and bring back all kind of nice stuff like diseases. They be out partying with their friends and new girlfriends and road queens who are young and just sleeping with everybody. Let's see. Workers, hives, workers live 4 to 6 weeks. So it takes 21 days for the workers to leave. The drones take 24 days to mature. A queen only takes 16 days to mature. And it says hives 4 to 6 weeks, the workers, and they have the workers, and they are females. The workers are females. As I told you, drones don't work. They just go out and party. They have barbed stingers. So if you ever got stung by a bee, and I have, you can see she'll leave her stinger because she'll die after that. And you can see the it's barbed. So it goes in and it has these little spikes on the side. And when you go to pull it out, the little spikes just stay in your skin. I take a knife and try to scrape it off. You know, not cut myself, but scrape it off. Just like with chiggers, I try to skip. Man, I've been stung in some strange places too. I don't want to talk about it. You don't need to know that. The queen will take 3 to 4 weeks before she'll go ahead and mate. So if you have a new queen and she's young, she's gonna wait till she gets, you know, all the energy, because that's when she leaves the hive to go mate. And she doesn't mate with the drones that are in her area, her brothers. They don't get no play. Her brothers, cousins, family members, or whatever, she don't want them. She goes out to the party and finds an erroneous drone or drones, and erroneous drones, and she just sleeps around, and then she comes back pregnant. That is the one time you should be happy that you got a promiscuous female. She comes back, and after that, she don't want to be bothered no more, from what I hear. She says, I've done my dirt. That's a chapter of my life that we don't need to talk about anymore. Go away. Don't ask me any questions. I don't feel well. I keep on having lay eggs, just like them chickens, every day. Most of the time, well, every other day so far. So, super honey. Okay, hives 1 mile apart. Queen will not mate with anyone close. Drones will go anywhere and bring back pests. So what kind of pests do they bring back? Varros, V-A-R-R-O-S. Varros, and you have to test for this. Varros is mandatory that you test for it 3 to 4 times a year. I forgot. I thought it was every monthly. It's not monthly. And they have a sticky pad. One of the way you could check for Varros. There's several ways to check, but there's one where you stick a sticky pad on the bottom layer of the hive, and then after 7 days, you pull it out, and then you go and you count. And they give you a number, and if you go over that number, you got to treat. You got to treat and get rid of it. So there's 3 methods. There's an alcohol wash, a sugar, I don't know, it looks like roll, and then a sticky board. A sticky board, I put 24 hours. A sticky board, 24 hours. So you stick the sticky board in the bottom of the hive, and then you come out, because I'm going to need a magnifying glass, and you check to see how many of those they look like, and they're big. They're big enough for you to see with your naked eye. They're about the size of, you see where the colon is right there where it says website? You see that? They're about the size of that. You'll see them, especially the mature ones. Okay, methods of control. They say they're super expensive. I put dollar signs not next to it. And it says honeybeehealthcoalition.org is where you should check. And then after you treat, you have to test again until you get it down to a manageable number, because those pests are sucking the life out of your bees. You don't want an infestation. That's why I was a little concerned about buying it from someone, and I met this guy on Craigslist, or was it Facebook Marketplace, one of them places, because they, you know, not everybody does the testing that you're supposed to do, and you get a hive in that's full of full of pests. Or if I get a wild hive, well, I didn't spend a couple of $100s on it, and I'm willing to treat because I already, I already saved money by getting this little thing and getting a wild swarm. Although it's more dangerous to deal with wild swarms. So we'll see what happens. I'm a rogue. I don't, I'll try. So then there's the small hive beetles. And you can get rid of them with beetle traps, oil, and veggie oil. Small hive beetles are a problem too. But it's mostly that Varos. That's the one you got to test for. Then there's wax moths. Larvae eat wax and pollen. Wax moths. You don't want that because you need your pollen and you need your wax. It says the wax moths target weak hives, can eat all and can kill the colony. The wax moths, they're larvae. It's like them vine borers we have. Everything has a something. Everything has something. There is a rumor that the Africanized bees have, them jokers, apparently. I don't know if they pull the pest off and kill it, but it doesn't affect them as much. However, they're dangerous. They're dangerous. They're rogue. You don't know. They'll come after you. So there are good hives, because when we were taking the frames out, those bees didn't attack. Well, I think one did try to sting me because I felt a little bit something on my calf. But they were just as pleasant as can be. I moved my stuff. We used the smoke. Now, I got to be careful with that because I got breathing problems. So I'm going to have to get a ventilator when I go out there because you got to smoke it. That's how you calm the bees down. You basically smoke them out. Smoke the house down to get them out of your way. So let's see. So it says freeze wax to get rid of the moths and then scrape it and recoat it with wax. So you scrape it off, you freeze it to kill them. And with my crazy self, I'd heat it up. I don't know if you're supposed to do that. And then I just paint it. How you gonna get it back on if you don't heat it up? So I paint it back on. That's what I saw somebody else doing. Inspect at 55% and higher, early morning, mid-afternoon, bi-weekly. So every other week you're supposed to check. So the first 7 days you get your bees, don't check it. I went to YouTube University and they were like, leave them alone. They're already upset because they're in a new house. It's like you show up to a new place, you don't know what's going on and you don't know if you're safe. Just leave them there. Don't touch them. Let them get comfortable. And then year or more frequently follow up. If you see another queen in there, or you see some more queen, because there's queen excluder boxes you can do. If you see a new queen in there, or you'll see the larva, because the way they put it, the way the queen lays another queen, or another, what is it, princess? They call it queens. The other queens, you'll see it because the way the larva looks is different. It's bigger. And I've seen people just take queen excluder boxes and take that queen out. And then split the hive. Take some of the frames out, put it in a new hive about a mile away. And some people just do. I see other people on YouTube, they just split the hive and put it right next to each other. So everybody does everything, differently. And nobody, I'm not gonna say anybody's wrong. Just like I don't garden like everybody else because the way my situation is not like yours. So, and if you requeen, do not eradicate the old queen until you get the new queen. Some people order new queens and they go ahead and squash the old queen. Don't do that. Don't do that. What if your queen doesn't show up? Then you know what's gonna happen? You're gonna get a million drones, a million lazy male bees that ain't gonna be doing nothing. Your hive might go away. They might die off. Because all the females can do, all the workers can do is lay males. They lay male eggs. They can't make females. The queen is what makes females. So requeen remove or replace every 2 years. Some people do it every year. They eradicate the queen when they get the new queen. And by eradicate, they don't make her, They don't give her, you know, because she's not laying anymore. Every female is like that in the world, as far as I know. The older you get, the less age you have. That's what's happening with the bees. After a year, she starts laying less and less. And your bee population starts getting weaker and weaker because there are less workers. And then you have the robber bees. And every bee is a thief, from what I heard. If a beehive is weak and another beehive is in a dearth or something and has resource, or not even in a dearth where there's no flowers, they realize that, hey, there's some weaklings over there. We could go and get free honey. All we have to do is beat them up and take their honey. And we're going to go in there and gang up on them and take their honey and take it back to our hive. And they'll do it. That happened last year during the dearth. When we had the drought, where the ground was cracking. One of the ladies that we get honey from up in North Texas, she had robber bees come and take honey from her bees. And I was like, well, what do you do when you have robber bees and you see them fighting? Your bees are fighting with the other bees. And they said, cover the entrance, because the other bees only know about that entrance, right? And let your bees go in and out through the top. And then hold it down. Run the sprinkler. Run them off. Try to. So you can check out videos on WW. Oh, I'm not going to say that. And it says do not harvest for 1 year. Then there are bee clubs you can join. Did I forget anything? Did I forget anything? I don't think so. So there are bee clubs that you can join in every county. There are bee clubs. If you want to join them, they give you support. You're going to need some support, apparently, when you first start. I saw one guy, he didn't go, he was in England. He didn't go to no class. He said he went to YouTube University and he learned through the School of Hard Knocks. He started off with 2 hives. And his dad, he was a young guy. His dad, the only gripe his dad had, because his dad was a gardener, is a gardener. He's on YouTube, I forget his name. Is that he wanted him to paint the boxes and make them look pretty in his garden. That was it. I was like, wow, you got a nice dad. I'm sure the dad also got some honey, so I was talking about beekeeping. You can get an ag exemption in most places. In Texas, you can get an ag exemption for beekeeping. However, every county has different rules. So you need to go to your county. First of all, find out if you can get an ag exemption, if you have enough land to get it. That's the first thing. Texas, I think Texas is 10 acres, but don't quote me. You have to have 10 acres. Don't quote me, I don't know. And every county, some counties are like, you need 1 hive per, you need to have at least 5, and you need 1 hive per acre or 2 hives per acre. Every county is different, and you have to do it for 5 years, and on your 6th year, you give them the paperwork. So I have to go up to the county and find out what the rules are for that county where the bees are going to be. So beekeeper beware, or future beekeeper beware. Just because you have 1 hive does not mean that you're going to get an ag exemption for it. You got to have more. First of all, you got to meet the land requirements, right? That's the first thing. And there are deed restrictions. Make sure there's no deed restrictions out there that prohibit you from doing that, which it probably isn't, because it's a bug. And then you got to find out how many hives you need to have. You have to find out how many. And so in most counties, you have to have a hive on that property. And in order for that year to count, that hive has to be there for most of the year. Some places are 181 days. Some places are like, you got to have them in there by February. So find out, you know, if you buy your hives in July or August, like I'm going to do, this year don't count. Does not count. Did I tell you it didn't count? Doesn't count towards your ag exemption. And 2 hives is not enough. I know that isn't. I know that most of them have a 6 hive. Well, the ones that I've checked, 6 hives you have to have. So what I'm trying to do is get used to beekeeping and try to figure it out myself. They did recommend that you get 2 hives, at least 2 hives to start off, to get your feet wet. But hey, I'm willing to try. The only thing I'm worried about is the smoke. I don't want to end up, you know, gasping for air. So I'm going to go on Amazing, or I'm going to go to the hardware store, the big box store, and I'm going to get the one with the canisters on it. So I don't have to worry about the smoke. When we were in class, I thought about that. I actually had to step away because I could say, oh, I can't, you know, I can't inhale that stuff. That's my only problem. Other than that, I wasn't afraid of the bees. I was not afraid of them. I've been stung before. I know I'm not allergic to bees, so. Anyway, I'm excited. I'm excited. Always excited for something new. So that's the part of life. Always try to learn something new. That's what makes life better. You know, always try to learn something. And this is new to me. New. Gardening is not that new to me. The plants, the individual plants are new to me. Figuring them out. Just like this thing right here, my pothos. I put this joker outside. It's not getting enough sunlight. It was thriving earlier and now it's not, so it's going outside. The more you do stuff, the more familiar you become with the process of doing it and how to do stuff. That's what interests me. How? When I was in that class, I was running and raking them over the coals. I think that they may have gotten mad at me, and I don't care. I don't care. I'm gonna ask you questions. I'm paying for knowledge. I could have went on YouTube and watched a lot of videos, right? But I wanted to get it from the professionals. And if I come in there and I ask questions, and it might be a dumb question to you, but I need to know. Every question I ask, I wrote down their answer. It's like, you know what you're doing. You teaching a class. I'm not trying to sharpshoot you. I actually don't know and want to know, because after the class is over, they don't have to answer none of your questions. None. So if you have to, and if you want to, and if you can afford to go and take a beekeeping class, wonderful. Get your questions ready before you get there, so you're not just thinking about stuff, because that's what I did. But I know there's going to be questions that's going to come up that I don't know the answer to, and I'm going to have to go to YouTube. And YouTube is not guaranteed. Everybody got their opinion of how to do it. Even the ladies who were teaching the class did it 2 different ways. One lady said in wintertime, she goes out there with her kid and she puts sugar on top. The guy on TV, he goes and buys fondant, cuts it in half and sticks it on the top of the thing because his bees didn't have enough food for the winter. They didn't have enough stores. So he went and bought some fondant, stuck it on top of the beehive, closed it back down, and the bees just will go up, get the fondant, and bring it down. Another thing that you're going to need is a waterer. So if you have chickens like me, chickens eat bees. They eat bugs. That's what they do. Some people think that chickens eat a lot of leaves. Nope. That's not what they want. They really want protein. Bugs. And if that little bee coming in to get some water, that chicken will go. Yesterday, what did I throw out there? And it sunk, and that chicken went in the water. She dunked her head in the water, got it, and ran off. I think it was a tomato. Yeah, it wasn't a piece of protein, but they like tomatoes too. So I broke the tomato up and I threw it, and I didn't do it on purpose, and it fell in the water, and one of them rolled out and read, look. She walked over there with her fat self, and she got on top of that thing and did like bobbing for apples. She kept on sticking her head in there until she got that tomato out. So if a bee is landing in there to go get a drinky poo, you know what they do? They go right back down there with their little beak and crush them and swallow them. So you don't want the chickens to eat your bees. You need to put a water source out there. And guess what you can use as a water source? The water feeder that you use for your chickens. Just put a couple of sticks in there. Make it very easy for them. Even if you have to add a little bit of sugar for them to know where it is, put the water close to them. Because if you don't give them water, they'll go find it. They'll go find it. And there are things like Temu and all them, and Amazon and all them. They have bee waterers, and it has like a little, you know, the water will be under here, and the bee just, you know, it allows the bee to land and go down in there and get the water. But I already have the water feeder, so that's what I'm gonna use. Some people say just get a pan and put some sticks on it. The ladies told me to do that. I was like, I got chickens. And that's when they told me, be careful of the chickens, because chickens will eat your bees. So this is Jamerica with Jamerica Life. I thank you guys for being here. Stay tuned. We're gonna put together another hive from scratch because it comes in a box. Most of the time when you buy beehives, unless you buy a hive of bees, you ain't gonna get no box. You ain't gonna get a box you can use anyway, and you're gonna have to put it together. See? It looks hard, but it's not. I was a little intimidated because I was like, oh, I hate putting stuff together. I gotta put something together right now. I hate putting stuff together, but I did it. It took me 2 days because I procrastinate. Just like I have something over there that I need to put together right now, and I'm procrastinating because I don't enjoy it. This is Jamerica with Jamerica Life. I thank you guys for being with me, and I will see you guys on the next one. Keep on learning, keep on trying, keep dropping your seeds, and don't let nobody tell you you can't do it. Bye. Bye, y'all.